Hey folks, thanks for tuning in. This is Rocky J with Owl Armory, and today we're going to be doing a little bit of a review on the Weaver Kaspa series 2.5 to 10 by 50 millimeter illuminated mil-dot reticle tactical scope. So, although I'm taking this out of the box now, this is not actually an unboxing video, so to speak. It's more of a reboxing video because I've already had this out, done a little bit of work with it. So what this is basically is it's a budget scope. It's billed as a tactical scope. And some quick facts about it. MSRP retail price is $354. Street price and what I paid is $165. Of course, that can change, with time. The magnification, as is in the title of the video, is 2.5 to 10 with variable adjustment, variable magnification. It is a 50 millimeter objective lens, and the reticle. I don't know if I can get it on the camera. Let me take this off. It's a mil-dot illuminated reticle. The reticle actually is quite nice. Let's see if we can get that to come up here. I don't know if this will work. You can kind of see it in there. You can kind of see it. You're not going to get a great image of it in the camera, but you get the general idea. It's red illumination. So let's go over some of the positives on this first. It's got a wide range of magnification. I wouldn't say it's suitable for close quarters, but it's usable in close quarters. It will reach out pretty far. It's got a big objective lens. It does have that illuminated mil-dot reticle, which is quite nice. It's a very nice feature, and it also has side focus that helps keep things clear. Let's talk about some of the downsides, because we can't really avoid them. It's rather dark for a 50 millimeter objective lens. I would have expected a bit of a brighter picture. Another thing that I found to be really a downside is these lens covers. So you go to open this lens cover and the whole thing comes off, and I guess you could use it that way, but it's supposed to pop open, and they just do not stay on. You can see there's nothing to it here. They flop around, they fall off. It's a really cheap system. The front one, okay, it opened up, but it's along the same lines, and it looks like maybe the manufacturer tried to glue it on. I'm not sure. There's some markings here. Either it was attempted to have been glued on to the front bell housing, or perhaps it just was some of the rubber material inside that melted during storage or shipping. Although it's January and I'm in the Rocky Mountains, so there's not much that melts in shipping around here. Not even ice. So there's that. The other thing you might say is a plus or a negative, depending how you look at it, is these turrets. Now, I think they're aluminum. I believe they are. They're really big and knobby, so you can grab onto them and you can give them a twist, and that goes for the illumination. And they're very defined. You can see there's a nice solid click there. You get a very positive feedback from them as you rotate them. One thing that might be a downside to that, though, is for something as sold as a tactical scope, you can bang them into stuff. They stick out pretty far. They're not very well protected. So I don't know how robust that's going to be. So something else I wanted to talk about here was the eye relief on this particular scope, and that ultimately is the reason why I said this is a reboxing video. This is going back. I'm returning it, and for one, I think this is faulty. I call that product that doesn't function as intended. You know, that's the best it's ever worked for me right there, and you'll see it really torqued it doing that. But something else that I really just simply didn't like about it, besides how dark the image is compared to other options out there, and it's not unusable, it's just not as nice as others in its class, but the eye relief. The eye relief is extremely particular with this scope. When I had it mounted, I really had to, one, back it in the rings very far back to the edge of the rifle, and I had to get my eye very close to it, and the amount of room that you have, what they call the eye box, for you to move your head around and still maintain a good sight picture with a clear image that takes up the full amount of the lens, was minimal at best. You know, you might have an inch or so. I don't know what the spec calls for on it. I'm just giving a real world use experience here, but you can maybe move your eye maybe an inch forward, back, right, left, maybe, without getting a lot of vignetting, without getting an image that shrinks down to near a pinhole, without having scope shadow. It really was disappointing to see, again, on something sold as a tactical scope. And I know it's a budget scope, it's low end, it's not the cheapest, but it's budget. But still, I found it to be honestly unusable, and so that's something that I couldn't live with that for myself. Not for a tactical scope. If it was sold as a hunting scope, maybe, because then you probably you could say that you're going to be sitting in one position, depending what kind of hunting you're doing, and you could have it prepared, and you could have it set up that you could just look down, get a familiar cheek weld, and use it. But for a tactical scope, I think it's absolutely unusable. If you're going to be moving around, running and gunning, if you're going to be on unknown terrain, unknown situations, I just think that's really unacceptable. So some other competition in the same price ranges that I think is worth checking out, and one option I did also purchase, but I think any of these would be worth considering as well. There's a Burris Full Field 2 that has a 2:7 magnification with a 35mm objective. That's a rather clear and bright image compared to what you get on this Weaver Kaspa here, and that has Burris's forever warranty as well, and it's also waterproof, and it doesn't have an illuminated reticle, so in that one regard they're maybe not directly comparable, but there also there's some other options that do, such as the Sig Sauer Whiskey 3, which is a 3:9 magnification and a 40mm objective lens, and that is available in just the basic quadplex reticle, just the crosshatch, which is not illuminated. You can get that Sig Sauer Whiskey 3 for $99. If you want it with their Hellfire reticle, which is their illuminated red dot, it's just a dot in the center of the reticle, that's $245. So on either side you're comparable here. Another option, which is what I chose to use in place of this myself, at least for now, is a Vortex Crossfire 2 with a 3:12 magnification and a 56mm objective lens. That has an MSRP, that has a street price of $243. So at $243, it's a little bit more, but you get a lot more out of it. It also has an illuminated reticle, although it is just their single dot. It's not a mil dot illuminated reticle like this one has. It has objective focus, and one downside that people say Vortex has is that they can be a bit darker in an image than their competitors. But with that 56mm objective lens, that scope actually lets quite a great deal of light in. This is their Hog Hunter series, they call it. And I found that image was significantly brighter and clearer than this. And you might think that on a bigger objective lens like that, you're going to have a lot of added weight. But the fact is that particular scope and this one are actually very comparable in weight. Let's see, I'll get my scale out here and we'll take a weight read right now. So let's see. Now I have that Vortex scope mounted to one of my rifles right now, so I can't take a weight reading on that, but I can post the weight up in the video. The scale takes a minute to boot up, so alright, here we go. Okay, so that comes in at 1 pound and 4.8 ounces. And if I remember right, that Vortex Crossfire 2 Hog Hunter, also illuminated, which is going to add some weight with the electronics and the battery, that is very comparable in weight. One other option that might be worth exploring in addition to those is the Leupold VX1, which is a 3:9 magnification 40mm scope with a duplex reticle. Not an illuminated, not for the $160 street price that you'll find that for, but of course Leupold has an excellent reputation for clear glass and a great image and a lightweight quality scope. So folks, like I said, this is a reboxing video because this one's going back. I sure thank you for tuning in today, and please do all those things that people like you to do: like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you think might also be other comparable scopes with similar specs in this magnification or in this price range. And keep an eye out for some future review videos. We've got some more optics that are going to be reviewed here at this channel, as well as a number of other products. You can also find me on the Gun Range podcast, which is the YouTube channel for that. It's just Gun Range. And if you're interested in all things firearms, have a listen. Well, thanks again, and I hope everybody has a fantastic rest of your day.